In August 1990, Kris and I did a mountain bike trip in Alaska. Now in 2015, the old photographs and videos have been used to create this movie.
A group of 12 Sierra Club members met in Anchorage. We traveled north toward Denali Park in vans. We could see Mount McKinley the whole time. We got up to Cantwell and we camped for our first night. We got on our mountain bikes the next day and traveled east on the Denali Highway. It took us several days to get to Paxson. And then we traveled south in the vans, going past Glen Allen, all the way to Chitina, where the pavement ended. It was another 60 miles in the van to McCarthy, and here we camped for several nights while we explored the Kennecott mill and mine area.
We set up our tents near Cantwell in 82-degree temperature. That night, the water in our water bottles froze. Denali Mountain loomed high behind us. We rode east on the Denali Highway. It is a gravel road open only during the summer. Many times we got off the road to ride snowmobile trails. The snow-covered mountains were spectacular. Near the end of a long, hard day, we came upon the McLaren River Lodge. We chowed down on their giant hamburgers.
When do we get to the hill part?
Alright.
McLaren Pass, the second highest highway pass in Alaska.
That's
Stop that.
it. Hey! It's all downhill from here.
This extremely cold, windy pass was our campsite for several nights.
Okay, we're introducing the 1990 Sierra Club Alaska Range mountain bike trip. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead. Mike, you're first.
My name is Mike Below. I'm on day parole, sex and child abuse. I'm having a wonderful time the time of my life on this one. I recommend that.
Shout out real loud. We got the wind to go.
Oh, can I come back when they get to that? Hi, my name's Caroline. I'm from Tennessee. That's all. Hi, I'm Ellen.
Where are you from, Ellen?
I don't remember.
What's your favorite color? I'm Steve. I'm from Truckee, and so is she.
I'm Jay, the pineapple kid from Hawaii.
I'm John. I'm from Saratoga, New York. I'm Abraham Lincoln from Springfield, Illinois.
Hey, you got trouble.
Hi.
I'm Vanna White.
Okay, Reed, you're done. Jay,
Limited battery power.
Joe.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Patty. I'm from Davis. And I'm Christy from Davis. I'm Chris from Gilroy.
I'm Bob from Morgan Hill.
I'm Donald Trump. I plan to develop this whole area. Every power plant here, and generator back there.
I've got one more thing to say.
Good night,
We shared this cold, windy campsite with a large herd of caribou. When we reached pavement, we vanned south on the Richardson Highway. In the summer of 1930, my father helped build this highway by driving one of these Model T gravel trucks. We took our bikes to Chitina, McCarthy, and Kennecott.
Artworks, too.
That's neat. They've got some really neat stuff in there.
So
Those are the two things that are advertised in the art,
There are some talented artists.
the art gallery and the...
Spending a bunch of money.
The riverboat, sure.
That-
It looks like they went out of business.
That was Chitina.
This 59-mile Washburn Road went all the way to McCarthy, following route old railroad bed that went from Cordova to Kennecott.
Bridge out, 59 miles.
This road was rough.
Now, McCarthy has a restaurant with salmon steaks and everything else. So if you guys want to go all the way to McCarthy tonight. Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow night. Seven magic words.
Chitina was once a bustling railroad town. It was the halfway point and overnight stop on Kennecott's Copper River and Northwestern Railway. We camped across the river in the rain that night, then came back to Chitina in the morning. We rode south of town next to the Copper River on the old railroad bend. We were cold and wet. Having fun. The long van ride from Chitina finally reached the Kennecott River across from McCarthy. Crossing in the summer was done on this aerial tram. In the winter, the river would have been frozen and it could have been walked across. McCarthy had an airstrip. We flew with Gary Green to see the mountains, the glaciers, and surrounding ice fields. Down below, we had a quick look at the old Erie copper mine, one of the mines where my father worked in the late 20s and early 30s.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, we weren't able to get through some of the passes I wanted to and all that, but it's not too bad out there.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Good.
We rode our bikes into town just as if we were on the old railroad. The Kennecott mill, mines, and railroad were closed in 1938. Copper ore was mined high up on the mountain by 300 miners and brought down by aerial tram. 300 more people lived and worked here in the Kennecott mill and company town. The copper ore in sacks was loaded here onto train cars. It was transported to Cordova and then by ship onto the smelter in Washington State. The almost 200-mile railway was operated by 300 employees. believe this was the world's tallest wood frame building when it was first constructed.
Make sure I'm not going to fall into the river here. Look at this. Well, it smells like a hospital. Ooh, look at all the mud. Oh my gosh.
My father was hospitalized here for 2 weeks with an injured leg.
Number 120. You got enough time to feed a loop around so you can...
There's our group up on the deck of the Kennecott Lodge.
Just looking straight down out the window.
They just bought all the last of the cookies.
Hello. No more cookies?
No more cookies. We got the last two. Oh no.
We saw my father's name on a list and the amount he paid for school taxes. The next morning was bright and clear for our bike and hike trek up the mountain to the Bonanza Mine.
Here's Bob, walking.
Walking his bike to the tops of these peaks.
We had spectacular views of the mountains and glaciers. In many places, we saw the fallen cable from the aerial tram that carried men and ore up and down the mountain. Farther up, we could look down at the angled station where the tram made a bend before going to the bottom of the mountain. By now, the air was getting thin, and we still had a steep climb above us. We finally reached the Bonanza entrance to the Kennecott mines. They were the largest and richest copper mines in the world. My father worked in the mines here from 1928 to 1932. Wind, water, ice, and gravity have destroyed most of the buildings here. We found the entrance to the mine sealed shut with ice. It did not look safe, but we entered this building. Well, the building did not collapse. Some of the rooms were in pretty good shape. We were rewarded with wonderful views out the far side.
I look too modern if I bring my camera out.
You look like a modern woman anyway, Kris.
I'm afraid I'm going to fall over backwards.
We were looking for a monument that my father had built with his friend Slim back in 1930 on the top of one of these peaks.
It'd be pretty crazy to climb up over there.
I don't know how anybody could get up for that.
Bob, did you find where your father put that monument?
We're still looking.
Is that it up there on the top?
With binoculars, it looks like a rock and a power.
It looks
A
like
rod
a
and
T,
a power
too.
rod.
It's like a white T up there.
Somebody got it.
When we returned to California, we showed this picture to my father and asked him what he could see.
It's looking pretty much south at this peak over here. And there's kind of a flagpole or something right on the top there.
That's our monument.
Is that your monument? That's your monument?
You really think so?
That's it.
Well, we weren't sure if that was it or not.
No, that's it.
That is it?
That is it.
I'll be darned.
We had
Now,
a
how
great-
tall is that monument?
Well, from the base up here, I think it would have been about 8 feet.
Okay.
That's about as high as we could reach up with rock.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Well, it did show. It was
And then
certainly
the pole you
emphatic
have on
across.
top of that, how high did that
We
go?
had the pole, it would have been, could have been as much as maybe 6 feet above that.
Uh-huh.
And that pole was a piece of drill steel, about so big around, the heaviest steel they had.
Mm-hmm.
And it had been caught in a blast in the mine where it got twisted so bad that it wasn't true. You know, it run sort of spiraled,
Mm-hmm.
and they would sidetrack it until such time as there was a possibility of getting it straight. In the meantime, we snitched it,
Mm-hmm.
Slim and I, and we carried it over there.
You carried it.
How long did it take to carry that thing over there?
Oh, we probably carried it over one night,
Yeah.
a piece of steel, one on each end of it.
I mean, we all looked at that and thought, no way.
Yes, that's it.
That can't be it.
That's it.
It was early evening when we headed down the mountain to Kennecott, McCarthy, and across the river to our campsite. The next day we drove back towards Chitina. We took the bikes off the vans several times to ride hunting trails. On one side trip, we carried our tents and sleeping bags to stay overnight at an old homestead. There was a sturdy log bear-proof cabin where we could have slept overnight, but it was so smoky inside that most of us set up our tents. We were badly bitten here, not by bears, who we never saw, but by vicious wasps. Steve and Ellen did an excellent job in organizing and guiding this adventure. We hope you enjoyed this off-the-beaten-track tour in Alaska. We also have a video of my father's time in the Kennecott mines with his historic photo collection narrated in his own words. Oh, one more thing. We have movies of road scholar trips to Denali and the Kenai Peninsula.